The Washington Post.
Chaotic search for virus treatments undermines effort. The risk. Many trials, little useful data. NIH chief works toward coordinated research strategy. Executives paint push to reopen nation as haphazard. Trump's efforts to enlist industry leaders have gotten off to rocky start. Parents and siblings are losing multiple loved ones to the coronavirus, suggesting that self-isolation at home may be a cause, and not a solution. Another death in the family. Displeasure with who goes beyond White House. President Trump is not happy with the World Health Organization. He is not the only one. Virus appears to damage organs beyond the lungs. The new coronavirus kills by inflaming and clogging the tiny air sacs in the lungs, choking off the body's oxygen supply until it shuts down the organs essential for life.
The New York Times.
Sales at U.S. stores hit catastrophic depths. Scant to stinges still barrier for reopening. As President Trump pushes to reopen the economy, most of the country is not conducting testing to track the pat-hand penetration of the coronavirus in a way that would allow Americans to safely return to work, public health officials and political leaders say. Retailers fear any rebound is too far off. Retail sales plunged in March, offering a grim snapshot of the coronavirus outbreak's effect on consumer spending, as businesses shuttered from coast to coast and wary shoppers restricted their spending. Colleges running low on money worry students will vanish too. No choice but shoulder to shoulder on the bus. Allies of Trump urged his move against WHO.
New York Post.
FaceTime. Now Cuomo says Nyers must wear masks in public after initially resisting the step. Governor Cuomo did an about-face yesterday and said that after a 3-day warning period, all New Yorkers must cover their mouths and noses when they are unable to social distance to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Governor Cuomo on Wednesday ordered New Yorkers to cover their faces when heading into public areas where they can't keep a safe distance, nearly 2 weeks after questioning Mayor de Blasio for advising the same precaution. If you're going to be in public and you cannot maintain social distancing, then have a mask, said Cuomo in announcing the executive order at an Albany press briefing.
The Wall Street Journal.
Shut down pound stores, factories. Retail sales plunge a record 8.7%. Industrial output falls at steepest rate since the 1940s. Executives tell Trump testing is inadequate to reopen. Banking and financial services executives told President Trump his administration needs to increase dramatically the availability of coronavirus testing before the public would be confident enough to return to work, eat at restaurants or shop in retail establishments, people familiar with the matter said. Virus surveillance clashes with privacy. Governments use technology to track and monitor individuals, concerns about overreach. Small businesses opt to close despite aid. Pros battle rookies in home offices.
Los Angeles Times.
State's scariest virus scenarios finally yield to ray of optimism. Coronavirus cases in California may be peaking, models show, provided we stick with social distancing. Financial troubles deepen at City Hall. Rising costs already strained Los Angeles's budget, then came the economic crisis of the coronavirus. Cash down the drain for online TP buyers. Some Amazon sellers don't deliver as promised. The toilet paper promised to be gently textured, yet durable enough for the task at hand. The package's lettering was in Chinese, save for one word: face. Small Georgia hospital overwhelmed. War hero earned a unique Dodgers moment. I never brag, because what do you brag about? I don't think I'm a hero. I'm just a guy who did his job. Ken Mallory, World War II veteran.
USA Today.
Deadliest week. They all have names. Virus fatalities over 7-day stretch top Pearl Harbor, 9/11s combined. A Catholic priest in New Orleans slipped on a surgical gown and face mask and performed last rites on a woman dying in a hospital alone. Trump's who cutoff comes at wrong time, health experts warn. In the middle of the worst pandemic in decades, President Donald Trump halted funding to the World Health Organization Tuesday, while his administration investigates what he called the health body's severe mismanagement of its coronavirus response. Plan to reopen has wide gaps. White House has warned that May goal is risky. We can't move into the next phase of response before we are able to understand where this virus is. Crystal Watson.
Chicago Sun-Times.
Pandemic's financial toll. State projects $2.7 billion budget shortage. Governor Pritzker's office expects next year's deficit to increase to at least $4.6 billion. You don't have to be an epidemiologist to see that the virus is going to hit our budget hard. Gov. J.B. Pritzker. Criminal defense attorney Ed Jensen, who represented the famous and infamous, dies at 78. From creator of Blackish Netflix comedy Black AF is wickedly funny, weighty. College grad see options vanish because of virus. Students have lost internships and jobs amid crisis, and looming recession could cost them throughout their careers. Just getting your first step on that job ladder is more difficult when we're in tough economic times, so unfortunately people that are just entering the labor force right now are going to find it to be quite difficult. Jonathan Dingell, University of Chicago's Booth School.
Chicago Tribune.
State facing a world of hurt. Pritzker says $2.7 billion revenue shortfall in 2020 looms and up to $7.4 billion next year. Metra's ridership derailed. April volume down by 97% and $500 million hole forecast for 2 years. City said to be bending the curve. New data from officials offer perspective on battle against virus. 23 deaths due to virus at Joliet facility. After fish killing spill, fishy acts alleged. Indiana accuses steel mill of manipulating water pollution samples. After an ArcelorMittal steel mill dumped fish-killing cyanide and ammonia into a Lake Michigan tributary last summer, Indiana state inspectors showed up at least 4 times to gauge how the company responded.